beauties of the languages. Okay,
Hmm.
সো এই যে ডেকোরেটরটা বললাম আজকে, এটা কি সাংঘাতিক জিনিস যদি কেউ রিয়েলাইজ করতে পারে।
Hmm.
একটা ফাংশন,
Yeah.
যারা যারা মানে অনেক দিন ধরে প্রোগ্রামিং করে আসছে না, মানে যেমন ধরো আমার ধরে নাও অলমোস্ট 20, বললাম ওই 22 ইয়ার্স অফ এক্সপিরিয়েন্স হয়ে গেল প্রোগ্রামিংয়ে। তো এই সমস্ত
Hmm.
ফিচার্সগুলো, দিস অল ফিচার্স আর ভেরি অ্যাডভান্স লেভেল ফিচার্স, means we rarely use these features in earlier days.
Mm.
Okay, maybe
Okay.
10, 15 years back we did not use that
Hmm.
kind of features. Those are quite not available that time also. Okay,
Hmm.
those
Hmm.
have been developed under certain conditions. Okay, having some
Hmm.
experiences, those things have been developed, just like decorators and everything. Okay, now see here
Hmm.
what is called anonymous function. Anonymous function is basically a function without having a name. Now, quickly giving you a function definition. Okay, why I am writing here, I can write it here also. Create a new file. Lambda, no? Lambda. Here, I am writing a function, say fun, right? So how to write a function? Say print hello run Dave. So simply this is a function. Now, if
Hmm.
I want to call this function, what I have to do? I have to call it like that. Okay,
Hmm.
save it
Hmm.
and run it. Sorry. First of all, lambda is anonymous function. That means it should not have any name, any fixed name with it. Okay, and it must
Hmm.
be a very short, a single line function. You cannot write lambdas for multi-line functions. Means if you have a complex logic in your function, then probably lambda is not for you. Okay, probably no, lambda is not for you. Okay,
Hmm.
lambda
Hmm.
is basically, lambda expressions are also there in Java. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
last semester we also discussed lambda
Last semester
expressions.
also discussed. Yeah.
Okay, lambda in Java. So here Python, lambda is more easier than the Java. See here,
Okay.
if we want to write this code, sorry, uh, just a minute. Hmm. Lambda. See, Lambda, just a minute, huh? Just
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. No worries.
একটু জল খাচ্ছি, অনেকক্ষণ ধরে বক বক করছি তো।
ঠিক আছে।
Hello, hello.
হ্যাঁ,
হুম
হ্যালো,
আচ্ছা,
বলো।
ঠিক আছে। আচ্ছা, see here. This is a simple function. Na? Simple function is a single line function. It should be a single line function. So this is called a lambda expression. By using this keyword lambda, you can define the function. I'm just describing it. First, let me give you a demonstration. Now, what will happen if you say call x, just save it and run it. So you are getting hello Ramdev. And it is the effect of this one. We have not called this function. No? We did not call this
Yeah.
function. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the effect of this function. Now see,
Mm,
this is working, but we have not write anything like that. Okay, we did not call it. Okay, I'm just writing it here because you can get a reference. See here, if our code is such thing as a simple code, okay,
mm,
do we really need this fun and def functions? No, we do not need that thing. This colon is basically necessary. This is enough
okay.
for the interpreter to identify this thing as a function. And a lambda is indeed a function. Okay. So if you know C++, there was a concept called inline function. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the concept of inline function? Inline function was a simple function that can be sorted out in a single line. Okay. To have the functional behavior, to have more readability. So in the same way, lambda expression are also like that. Okay, it is a simple function. We do not need the burden of having a name for that purpose. This thing is completely erased from here. Na? These are something called boilerplate code that is not needed at all here. Okay, if your function is a simple one. Now one more example. See here. Suppose you have a function def sum, and your purpose is to sum or say increment function, and whatever value you want to pass, you want to increment the value by one, right?
Mm. X
So
plus plus.
return x plus 1. So that is
Mm,
your purpose.
mm,
So this is your function.
yeah.
Now for this function you can also write a lambda expression, say y, or you can say give a name inc. Inc is already
Mm,
there. Say linc. Okay, I'm giving my name.
okay.
So I'm writing a lambda, lambda. And now see here, for this case, in this case you are not
Oh,
passing any variable. Okay,
mm,
for the function. See here, but here we are passing a variable, right? So
yeah.
when you
Mm-hmm.
pass a variable, you have to write that variable here,
Okay. Okay. Don't
and
call
you
that
have to
part.
give x
Mm,
plus 1. So
mm,
interpreter is
yeah.
intelligent enough to identify that, okay, you have to return this thing. Okay,
Mm, mm,
return this thing. Now if you call this lambda expression inside a print, obviously when the function is returning something, you have to print it, na? linc and send 50. Okay, what it will give, it will
51.
increment 50 and it will give you 51. Now see, now you get an idea about lambda, na?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So lambda
Absolutely.
is basically, see the expression. This expression is purely functional expression. Means if you want to define a function, then you have to write in that way. But among this definition, I can say that uh, boilerplate code. Now, what is a boilerplate code? That code which is repeatedly come in your lines of code. That is called a boilerplate code. And in our modern type of programming, we always try to avoid boilerplate codes. Okay, but wherever we need actually, there we have to maintain, means if this function is quite large enough, or if it is a multi-line program, multi-line function, then we do not have any option right now. We have to write the thing. But for the
Hmm.
simple function we have a facility. See here, these def, okay, this inc, these brackets, and this return statement, these are not at all needed to identify, to for the work to happen. Okay, what we need this thing, x, you pass
Hmm.
x, you get x plus 1.
Only that
As simple
variable,
as that.
and after colon we just
After colon,
increment.
the body of the method, body of the function.
Got it.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
so you do not have the name,
Yeah.
since you, this is a function, you remember lambda expression is a function. Okay,
Yeah.
apart from being an expression, it is a function. In fact, this is also an expression, that is a separate issue.
Hmm.
This is, you know, this is a assignment expression. Assignment means equal to. Okay, it is
Yeah.
actually assigning the, this, assigning an address to this name, this function name.
Okay.
This function name is actually a variable. Okay,
Hmm.
so the address is assigned at this junction of code. Okay, now
Hmm.
here we do not need that function name, that's why it is an anonymous function. That means function
Hmm.
with no name. And we do
Hmm.
not require, since we do not writing a complete function, we do not require this def anymore. Okay, what we need the parameters. This is the parameter section. This
Hmm.
highlighted section is the parameter section, this section is parameter section. Whatever parameter you will pass, you have to pass it here. And this is the return section, means the body of the code, that single line. Okay, now one more
Yeah.
example. Let me give you one more example. Suppose you need a function like that, def, say, I can write a to the power b, right? Say
Hmm.
power, my power, power, a comma b. What it will do? It will return a
And A double S T B.
b. That it will return. Okay.
Hmm.
For this, now what is the difference between these functions and other function? This is taking two parameters. Na? That's why
Hmm.
I am showing it. So I can write a lambda like that. Say L or say P is equal to
Hmm.
lambda. Tell me,
Lambda A comma B
a
colon
comma b colon.
colon A double S T B.
Let's take a look.
Hmm.
This is lambda expression.
Yeah.
Now you have to call the P as usual.
Much
So
more easier than Java. In
exactly.
Java, it is like arrow, putting an arrow and then
Uh,
this that.
if I describe you, then probably it will not be like that. But okay, obviously it is more than Python. Okay, see here, 2 to the power 5 is 32. So for this type of functions, we do not have to go for by the conventional way of writing functions. We can write a single line simple smart code for that, and that is called lambda expression. Okay, lambda is something
Yeah.
like that. Tell me, you understand?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
ঠিক আছে, তো lambda হয়ে গেল।
Yeah. Hmm.
আচ্ছা, ভিডিওটা স্টপ